Imagine a mother polar bear and her two cubs venturing out into the Arctic wilderness, searching for food to sustain their lives. As they journey across the ice, the mother bear notices that the once solid frozen expanse has now become thin and fragile, a result of rising temperatures caused by climate change. Faced with this new reality, the mother bear must now navigate these treacherous conditions, risking her life and the lives of her cubs, all in pursuit of survival. This dramatic story is not just a gripping tale of adventure, but a stark illustration of the real-world impact that climate change is having on the lives of countless species around the globe, including the iconic polar bear. These majestic creatures, once kings of the frozen Arctic, now find themselves fighting for their very existence as the ice they depend on for hunting and habitat rapidly melts away. But what does this mean for us as human beings, and why should we care about the plight of the polar bears? The fate of these bears serves as a sobering reminder of the delicate balance of our planet's ecosystems, and how the consequences of our actions can reverberate through every corner of the natural world. As we delve deeper into the science of climate change and explore its far-reaching implications, it becomes clear that the story of the polar bears is just one of many that sheds light on the urgent need for action and understanding. The science behind climate change is rooted in Earth's natural greenhouse effect, a process that keeps our planet warm and habitable by trapping heat from the sun. This delicate balance is disturbed when excessive amounts of greenhouse gases, such as carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide, are released into the atmosphere. Human activities like burning fossil fuels, deforestation, and agriculture have significantly increased the concentration of these gases, leading to an enhanced greenhouse effect known as global warming. As the atmosphere becomes saturated with greenhouse gases, more heat is retained, causing Earth's average surface temperature to rise over time. This seemingly small change in temperature has dramatic consequences for our planet's climate system, altering atmospheric and oceanic circulation patterns, making weather events more extreme, and even changing the very makeup of ecosystems across the globe. One key indicator of climate change is the steady retreat of polar ice caps and glaciers, which not only affects the habitat of creatures like polar bears but also contributes to rising sea levels and increased coastal flooding. Another alarming consequence is the increased frequency and intensity of extreme weather events, such as heat waves, droughts, hurricanes, and floods, threatening the livelihoods and safety of millions of people around the world. The ripple effects of climate change extend far beyond just the weather. As species struggle to adapt to shifting habitats, food sources become scarcer, and countries face growing challenges in managing resources like water, agriculture, and energy. Understanding the intricate connections between greenhouse gases, global warming, and the climate is crucial for developing targeted solutions to mitigate the impacts of climate change and protect the future of our planet. Over the past century, human activities have significantly contributed to the rapid acceleration of climate change, with devastating impacts on Earth's natural systems and processes. Fossil fuel consumption is one of the primary anthropogenic drivers of climate change, as burning coal, oil, and natural gas releases vast amounts of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. Industrial processes, such as cement production and chemical manufacturing, add to the problem by releasing potent greenhouse gases, like chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs, and hydrofluorocarbons, HFCs, which have a much higher global warming potential than carbon dioxide. Another major human-induced contributor to climate change is deforestation, which not only releases carbon dioxide through the burning or decay of trees but also reduces the number of trees available to absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Agriculture also plays a significant role in climate change, as it generates a large share of the world's methane and nitrous oxide emissions from livestock production, rice cultivation, and the use of nitrogen-based fertilizers. Urbanization and the expansion of human settlements have led to the development of urban heat islands, where cities experience significantly warmer temperatures than their surrounding rural areas due to the concentration of heat-absorbing infrastructure and materials. Waste generation and disposal, particularly in landfills, contribute to climate change through the emission of methane, a potent greenhouse gas that is produced during the decomposition of organic materials. Finally, our collective demand for energy and resources has driven the extraction and transportation of fossil fuels, further amplifying our carbon footprint and exacerbating the impacts of climate change. By understanding the diverse range of human activities that influence climate change, we can identify targeted solutions to reduce our global emissions and lessen the detrimental effects on our planet's ecosystems, climate, and inhabitants. As global temperatures continue to rise, we are witnessing a plethora of direct and indirect effects on our planet's natural systems, ranging from melting ice caps and rising sea levels to more frequent and extreme weather events. Polar ice caps and glaciers are melting at unprecedented rates, contributing to sea level rise and threatening coastal communities, as well as displacing countless marine species that rely on these icy habitats for survival. The increased frequency and intensity of heat waves, droughts, and wildfires are taking a heavy toll on ecosystems, agriculture, and human health, causing countless deaths, economic losses, and the displacement of both humans and wildlife. Ocean acidification, a direct result of increased carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, is causing harm to vital marine ecosystems, including coral reefs that support a vast array of biodiversity and provide essential ecosystem services, such as food and coastal protection. As the climate changes, many plant and animal species are being forced to adapt or migrate to new habitats in search of suitable conditions, leading to shifts in ecosystems and the potential loss of unique biodiversity. More frequent and intense storms, such as hurricanes, typhoons, and cyclones, are causing widespread destruction and devastation, with significant implications for human infrastructure, health, and well-being. Climate change is also contributing to the increased prevalence of vector-borne diseases, such as malaria and dengue fever, as warmer temperatures expand the range of disease-carrying insects, putting millions of additional people at risk. These consequences of climate change are interconnected, with cascading effects that can amplify or exacerbate one another, creating a complex web of challenges that we must address in order to mitigate the impacts and safeguard our planet for future generations. An overwhelming majority of the scientific community, approximately 97% of climate scientists, agree that human activities, particularly the burning of fossil fuels, are driving climate change and causing the Earth's temperature to rise. This consensus is supported by numerous scientific organizations, such as the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, and the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, which are all dedicated to researching and understanding our planet's climate. The evidence for human-induced climate change is built upon a wide range of observations and measurements, including rising global surface temperatures, shrinking ice sheets and glaciers, and increasing ocean acidification, all of which are consistent with the effects of increased greenhouse gas emissions. Scientists use sophisticated computer models to simulate the Earth's climate system, allowing them to predict future climate scenarios based on different levels of greenhouse gas emissions and other factors. These climate models have been extensively tested and validated against historical climate data, demonstrating their ability to accurately reproduce past climate trends and providing confidence in their projections of future climate change. The scientific consensus on climate change is further reinforced by the fact that numerous independent lines of evidence from various fields, such as paleoclimatology, oceanography, and atmospheric physics, all converge to support the conclusion that humans are the primary cause of the ongoing climate crisis. As a result, the consensus view on climate change not only emphasizes the urgency of the situation but also highlights the need for immediate and comprehensive action to mitigate the impacts and prevent further catastrophic consequences for our planet and its inhabitants. Climate change denial is a phenomenon where individuals or organizations refuse to accept the scientific consensus on human-caused climate change, often citing a variety of reasons or arguments to support their skepticism. One common argument put forth by climate change skeptics is the assertion that climate has always changed naturally throughout Earth's history, and therefore, the current changes we are observing are merely part of a natural cycle. However, scientific research has shown that the current rate and magnitude of climate change are unprecedented in the context of Earth's history, and these changes can only be explained by human activity, primarily the burning of fossil fuels. Another argument presented by skeptics is the claim that there is no consensus among scientists regarding the human influence on climate change, or that the consensus is based on flawed research or manipulated data. This assertion is categorically false, as numerous independent studies and meta-analyses have found that an overwhelming majority of climate scientists and published research supports the conclusion that human activities are driving climate change. Some skeptics also argue that climate models are unreliable and cannot accurately predict future climate conditions, using this as a basis to dismiss the urgency of climate change. Contrary to this claim, climate models have been rigorously tested and validated against historical data, and their ability to accurately reproduce past climate trends lends credibility to their projections of future climate change under various emission scenarios. Finally, it is essential to recognize that climate change denial is often driven by political and economic factors, as acknowledging the reality of human-caused climate change would necessitate significant changes in policy, industry, and individual behavior. It is crucial to approach the topic of climate change with a critical mindset, armed with the knowledge of the overwhelming scientific evidence supporting the consensus view, and to challenge denialist arguments with accurate information and well-reasoned arguments. When examining the political landscape surrounding climate change, it becomes clear that political ideology often plays a significant role in shaping an individual's or a government's stance on the issue. In some countries, conservative political parties tend to be more skeptical about climate change or oppose aggressive action to combat it, often due to concerns about the potential impact on economic growth and the role of government in regulating industries. On the other hand, liberal or progressive parties generally advocate for more robust policies to address climate change, emphasizing the need for government intervention and international cooperation to protect the environment and public health. This ideological divide can result in policy gridlock and inconsistent approaches to climate change, as governments with differing priorities alternate in power and enact or dismantle climate policies accordingly. Economic interests also heavily influence perspectives on climate change, as industries that rely on fossil fuels, such as oil, coal, and natural gas, face significant challenges in transitioning to a low-carbon economy. These industries, along with their political allies, may resist climate action or promote misinformation about the science behind climate change in order to protect their financial interests and maintain the status quo. In response to this resistance, there has been a growing movement to divest from fossil fuel companies and invest in clean energy sources, with many investors recognizing the financial risks associated with continuing to rely on carbon-intensive industries. Furthermore, international cooperation plays a crucial role in addressing climate change, as no single nation can effectively mitigate its impacts alone. Multilateral agreements like the Paris Agreement demonstrate the potential for global collaboration on climate action, but they also highlight the challenges in achieving consensus among countries with varying levels of development, resources, and priorities. Ultimately, understanding the complex interplay between politics, economics, and climate change perspectives is essential in order to craft effective and equitable solutions that can navigate these challenges and secure a sustainable future for our planet. The Paris Agreement, adopted in 2015 by nearly 200 countries, represents a groundbreaking global commitment to address climate change by reducing greenhouse gas emissions and limiting global warming to well below 2 degrees Celsius compared to pre-industrial levels. This ambitious pact also encourages countries to strive for an even more aggressive target of limiting warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius, which would significantly reduce the risk of catastrophic climate impacts. To achieve these objectives, each participating nation submits a nationally determined contribution, NDC, outlining their specific plans for emissions reduction and climate adaptation measures over time. These NDCs are revised every 5 years, promoting a continuous cycle of improvement and progress towards a more sustainable future. However, the success of the Paris Agreement depends on the collective efforts of all nations, which requires not only setting ambitious NDCs but also following through with concrete actions and investments. In addition to international agreements like the Paris Agreement, many countries are implementing national climate plans that outline comprehensive strategies for reducing greenhouse gas emissions, adapting to climate impacts, and transitioning to a low-carbon economy. These national climate plans often include a mix of regulatory measures, such as carbon pricing or emissions standards, as well as incentives for clean energy development and energy efficiency improvements. For example, some countries have set targets for increasing the share of renewable energy in their electricity mix or phasing out coal-fired power plants in favor of cleaner alternatives. Transportation is another key focus area for climate policy, with many nations promoting electric vehicle adoption, improving public transportation systems, and investing in infrastructure for walking and cycling. Moreover, national climate plans often encompass strategies for enhancing the resilience of communities and ecosystems to climate change impacts, such as investing in flood protection infrastructure, preserving vital ecosystems like mangroves and wetlands, and improving agricultural practices to conserve water and soil resources. As the urgency of the climate crisis grows, it becomes increasingly crucial for countries to not only set ambitious climate policy goals but also to demonstrate their commitment to achieving these targets through tangible actions and sustained collaboration with the global community. Renewable energy sources, such as solar, wind, and hydropower, are paving the way for a more sustainable future, as they harness the Earth's natural elements and convert them into electricity without generating harmful greenhouse gas emissions. Solar panels, for instance, capture sunlight and transform it into usable electricity, while wind turbines convert the kinetic energy of the wind into power, and hydropower plants produce electricity by harnessing the force of flowing water. In recent years, advances in renewable energy technologies have led to significant cost reductions, making clean energy increasingly competitive with fossil fuels and driving a global shift towards more sustainable energy systems. Battery storage technology has also seen remarkable progress, enabling more efficient storage of renewable energy and addressing the intermittent nature of solar and wind power, thus bolstering the reliability of clean energy systems. Carbon capture and storage, CCS, technology offers an additional approach to combating climate change by capturing carbon dioxide emissions from power plants and industrial facilities and storing them deep underground, preventing their release into the atmosphere. Furthermore, cutting-edge innovations in direct air capture, DAC, technology are being developed to actively remove carbon dioxide from the ambient air, providing a promising tool for atmospheric carbon removal and potentially mitigating the impacts of past emissions. Another exciting avenue of research lies in the development of advanced nuclear power technologies, such as small modular reactors, SMRs, and fusion energy, which have the potential to generate vast amounts of carbon-free electricity while addressing safety concerns associated with traditional nuclear power plants. In addition to these technological advancements, creative solutions for energy efficiency are being implemented across various sectors, from smarter building designs that minimize energy consumption to more fuel-efficient transportation systems and industrial processes. The rapid pace of innovation in renewable energy, carbon capture, and energy efficiency technologies is a testament to human ingenuity and provides hope for a more sustainable and resilient future in the face of climate change. Individual actions play a crucial role in curbing greenhouse gas emissions and promoting sustainable practices, as small, everyday choices can collectively lead to significant environmental benefits. One impactful decision involves adopting a more plant-based diet, as animal agriculture is a major contributor to greenhouse gas emissions, deforestation, and other environmental issues. By reducing meat and dairy consumption, individuals can greatly reduce their personal carbon footprints. Transportation choices also have a substantial effect on emissions. Opting for public transit, carpooling, biking, or walking instead of driving alone can help minimize the carbon footprint associated with daily commutes. Moreover, adopting energy-efficient habits at home, such as turning off lights and appliances when not in use, using programmable thermostats, and installing energy-saving LED light bulbs, can lead to significant reductions in energy consumption and associated emissions. In addition to individual actions, sustainable business practices are essential in driving the transition to a low-carbon economy, as companies have the power to influence their supply chains, implement eco-friendly policies, and invest in clean technologies. A growing trend in corporate sustainability is the adoption of circular economy principles, wherein businesses focus on reducing waste, reusing and recycling resources, and creating more durable, repairable products, ultimately minimizing their environmental impact. Many companies are also embracing the concept of net zero carbon emissions, setting science-based targets to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions and compensating for any remaining emissions through carbon offset projects, such as reforestation or renewable energy development. Consumers have the power to drive change by supporting businesses that prioritize sustainability, thereby creating market demand for eco-friendly products and services and encouraging more companies to adopt responsible practices. Overall, individual actions and sustainable business practices, when combined, have the potential to bring about meaningful change in the fight against climate change, creating a more resilient and environmentally responsible society for future generations. Harnessing the power of artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning, scientists are unlocking new insights into climate change, vastly improving the accuracy of climate predictions and helping to develop innovative mitigation strategies. Machine learning algorithms are particularly useful in processing vast amounts of complex data, enabling researchers to identify hidden patterns and relationships in climate variables that might have otherwise gone unnoticed. One significant application of AI in climate science is the improvement of climate models, which are essential tools for understanding how environmental factors interact and predicting future climate scenarios. Machine learning algorithms can help enhance the realism and resolution of these models, leading to more accurate forecasts. Additionally, AI is playing a vital role in monitoring and analyzing deforestation, as machine learning algorithms can automatically detect changes in satellite imagery, allowing for more timely and comprehensive tracking of forest loss and its impact on greenhouse gas emissions. Efficient energy management is another area where AI is making strides. Smart grids use advanced algorithms to optimize energy distribution, reducing waste, and maximizing the use of renewable energy sources, ultimately leading to lower emissions. In the realm of agriculture, AI-driven precision farming techniques are helping farmers optimize their use of resources, such as water and fertilizers, resulting in improved crop yields and reduced environmental impacts. Furthermore, AI-powered early warning systems are being developed to predict and mitigate the effects of extreme weather events, such as hurricanes, floods, and heat waves, which are becoming more frequent and severe due to climate change. As we continue to explore the vast potential of artificial intelligence and machine learning in addressing climate change, it becomes increasingly clear that these cutting-edge technologies will play a crucial role in shaping our understanding of the Earth's complex systems and devising innovative solutions to protect our planet for future generations. As we seek innovative solutions to mitigate climate change, space-based interventions have emerged as a fascinating and promising avenue for research. One such intervention involves the deployment of reflective satellites that can manipulate the amount of solar radiation reaching our planet. The basic concept behind this approach, known as solar radiation management, SRM, is to artificially cool the Earth by reflecting a small percentage of the incoming sunlight back into space, reducing the amount of heat absorbed by our atmosphere. Reflective satellites, also called sunshades or space mirrors, could be strategically placed into orbit around the Earth to cast a controlled shadow on the planet, effectively reducing global temperatures and counteracting the warming effects of greenhouse gases. Although this concept may seem like science fiction, several studies and simulations have demonstrated the potential effectiveness of solar radiation management in mitigating climate change. One notable example is the Stratospheric Controlled Perturbation Experiment, SCOPEX, led by Harvard University, which aims to explore the feasibility of SRM through a controlled stratospheric aerosol injection. However, implementing space-based climate intervention is not without its challenges and uncertainties. For instance, the cost and logistical complexities of deploying large-scale satellite systems, along with the potential for unforeseen environmental side effects, must be carefully considered before any real-world applications can be pursued. Furthermore, the potential geopolitical implications of SRM must be addressed, as decisions about the deployment and control of such technologies could have significant global consequences, potentially leading to disputes and conflicts between nations. Despite these challenges, the exploration of space-based climate intervention technologies holds immense potential to transform our approach to climate change mitigation, pushing the boundaries of human ingenuity and inspiring innovative solutions that may ultimately help secure a more sustainable future for our planet. As humanity seeks to address the challenges of climate change, bioengineering solutions have surfaced as groundbreaking approaches, harnessing the power of CRISPR and synthetic biology to capture and store carbon dioxide. CRISPR, a revolutionary gene editing technology, enables scientists to precisely modify the DNA of living organisms, opening up the possibility of engineering plants and microorganisms to capture more carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. One such application involves modifying the photosynthesis process in plants, which naturally absorb carbon dioxide and convert it into oxygen and glucose. By enhancing the efficiency of this process, we could potentially create superplants capable of absorbing more CO2 and mitigating the impacts of excess greenhouse gases. In addition to plants, researchers are looking into microorganisms as carbon sequestration agents. For instance, scientists are working on engineering specific strains of bacteria and algae that can capture and store carbon dioxide more effectively, potentially offsetting the emissions produced by various industries. Synthetic biology, another cutting-edge field, involves the design and construction of new biological systems, components, and functions not found in nature. By leveraging synthetic biology, scientists can create novel organisms with unique properties, such as the ability to convert CO2 into useful compounds, like biofuels or bioplastics. While these bioengineering solutions hold immense potential, they also raise ethical and ecological concerns. The introduction of genetically modified organisms into the environment may have unforeseen consequences on ecosystems and biodiversity, and proper regulation and safety measures must be put in place to ensure their responsible use. Ultimately, the marriage of biology and engineering in the pursuit of climate change solutions is a testament to the boundless creativity and resourcefulness of the human endeavor. By tapping into the power of life itself, we may unlock innovative and sustainable approaches to tackle the most pressing challenge of our time. As we confront the undeniable reality of climate change, building climate resilience in our cities is an essential element of adaptation strategies, ensuring that urban environments are capable of withstanding and recovering from the adverse effects of a shifting climate. Incorporating green infrastructure, such as urban parks, green roofs, and permeable pavements, into city planning not only enhances the aesthetic appeal of urban areas but also improves air quality, reduces urban heat island effects, and manages stormwater runoff more efficiently. The concept of sponge cities is gaining traction as a sustainable approach to urban water management. By integrating natural and engineered systems, these cities absorb, store, and reuse rainwater, thereby lowering the risk of urban floods and water scarcity. The rise of smart cities, which harness the power of data and communication technologies, offers unprecedented opportunities for managing resources, optimizing energy consumption, and improving the overall quality of urban life, while reducing our carbon footprint. Transportation plays a crucial role in addressing climate change, and cities worldwide are transforming their mobility systems by promoting electric vehicles, expanding bicycle lanes, and enhancing public transportation networks to reduce emissions and promote greener, healthier lifestyles. Architects and urban planners are increasingly using biophilic design principles, integrating natural elements into the built environment to create a seamless connection between humans and nature, fostering mental health and well-being while promoting sustainable urban living. Climate-resilient cities also prioritize the development of energy-efficient buildings, incorporating passive design strategies, such as natural ventilation and daylighting, as well as adopting high-performance materials and renewable energy sources to minimize energy consumption and greenhouse gas emissions. By incorporating social equity and environmental justice considerations into urban planning, climate-resilient cities ensure that the most vulnerable populations are not disproportionately affected by climate change, creating inclusive and equitable spaces for all citizens to thrive. The emergence of circular economy principles in urban planning fosters sustainable consumption and waste management practices, encouraging a systemic shift away from the traditional linear model of take, make, dispose, and working towards a more regenerative and resilient urban fabric. As the world's population continues to urbanize, the need for climate-resilient cities becomes increasingly urgent. By embracing innovative design, technology, and policy solutions, we can create robust urban ecosystems that not only withstand the challenges of climate change but also provide a high quality of life for their inhabitants. Every individual has a unique and powerful role to play in combating climate change, and small actions taken collectively can lead to significant, lasting impact. By making conscious choices in our daily lives, such as reducing energy consumption, embracing sustainable transportation, and supporting businesses with eco-friendly practices, we can actively contribute to the global fight against climate change. Empowering ourselves with knowledge and staying informed about the latest climate science, as well as the political and economic factors that influence climate policy, allows us to become effective advocates for change. Participating in community-based initiatives, such as tree planting, local cleanups, and environmental awareness campaigns, strengthens our collective efforts to protect and restore the planet. Influence on a larger scale can be achieved through engaging with elected officials, participating in climate marches, and voting for policies and leaders that prioritize climate action, ensuring that our voices are heard. By fostering a culture of sustainability in our workplaces, schools, and communities, we inspire others to adopt environmentally responsible behaviors, ultimately creating a ripple effect of positive change. Promoting and supporting education and research in climate science, emerging technologies, and innovative solutions empowers the next generation of leaders and decision makers, who will shape the future of our planet. Embracing an ethos of interconnectedness and shared responsibility, we can transcend political, social, and economic boundaries, uniting people from all walks of life in a common goal to preserve our environment and ensure a sustainable future for generations to come.